What's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here continuing to cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know we do it on the jam session. We cook up every single game, every single day, man. I have dropped 4 NBA Play of the Days in a row, man. I'm not in a great mood about it. I'm calling a spade, man. Last night, had the Memphis Grizzlies. Of course, I had it earlier in the day expecting my man, Ja Morant, to play. I love the spot, love the situation for him. Triple revenge spot that also happened to be a bounce back game coming off a terrible loss. It was a perfect spot, perfect situation for the Grizzlies. Ja Morant gets listed out, line drops. I still liked it though. I let it rock. I didn't, hedge out or anything like that. I let it rock. They won the game, failed to cover. That's kind of been the theme for this week. The night before we had the Mavs laying 1.5. They were up 6 with 20 seconds to go. Find a way to win the game by 1. Laying 1.5. Had the Hawks outright money line the night before. They did cover in that game, but of course we did not cash our outright money line ticket. DeAndre Hunter, open look. Couldn't get it to go. So it's been that style week for me, man. If you gamble all the time, then you know sometimes the ball just don't bounce your way. But we're here, we're showing up, sticking to our spots, sticking to our situations, looking to continue to attack the board the way we know how. We'll come out green on the other side. Perfect day to bounce back. Money making Friday, one of my absolute favorite days of the week. We got a solid card today, and y'all know the drill, man. I'm finna cook it up and try to smash it per usual. I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. I ain't got much to say, ladies and gentlemen, other than I need my money back, man. So let's get it back today. Without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. We start our day with my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, out on the road facing the Detroit Pistons. Do your line shopping. Mavs kind of a favorite in some books. Pistons a favorite in some books. Line even in some. I'm here to tell you what I'm doing. I'm betting my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks. So you want to take the Pistons, go right ahead. I'm here to tell you what I'm doing, though. I'm taking the Mavs outright on the money line. No need to overcomplicate this one. I'm going to be honest. This is not the NBA play of the day, so you don't have to worry about that today. But I am betting the Mavs for sure. We're the better basketball team. Short, sweet, simple. Kyrie Irving got snubbed from the All-Star game yesterday. He averages more points than half of the people that are in the All-Star game. Because, I guess, of some of the comments he made back in, we know what happened. And how some people look at Kyrie Irving. He was left off the All-Star team. I think he kind of takes at the heart a bit. I think the Mavs, the head and shoulders better basketball team, even despite some of their injuries, come in here and beat up on the Pistons. Pistons losers of 3 straight. They haven't been that same Pistons team that was cashing at that high rate for a little minute. They kind of been down here. I think the Mavs come in here, handle business, win the game. We trust them on the road as a road favorite over the last couple seasons. We know the number. We know the record. We've been betting it. Lay the points here with the Mavs. I do like some of Tim Hardaway Jr.'s points, props, overs, his threes, overs. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a solid game, revenge game against his old team. He talked bad, talked crazy about him in the media. His dad has it. His dad, Tim Hardaway, has. So wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Hardaway Jr. had a nice game today. So that's a prop that I like for y'all. But I'm definitely on my favorite team, the Mavs, in this one. We got the Charlotte Hornets at home at the crib with the Los Angeles Clippers rolling in. Clippers laying 13.5 here in this one. This is one of my least favorite games of the night. I can honestly argue both ways in this basketball game. Clippers have been one of the best ATS teams in the entire NBA, as you see on your screen. Shout out to Clippers. They've been much better, though, at home. They're the number 1 home ATS team. And I think in a spot like this, laying this many points, we know that's not their spot. We know that's not their situation. I think you may run into a little issues here. Charlotte is a decent ATS team. They're not terrible. They do show up in certain spots. This is enough points for me to lean towards Charlotte getting the points at home. Charlotte fairly comfortable at home, as this will be the Hornets' 5th straight home game, shooting the same gym, same rim for over the last week. Lean towards Charlotte plus the points, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's a lean at best. We keep it moving. We got the Philadelphia 76ers at home at the crib with the Denver Chicken Nuggets rolling in. Denver laying 8.5 here in this spot. ESPN game tonight. Joel Embiid will miss yet another game. The injury report for Philadelphia is quite ugly. Paul George out, Andre Drummond out, Caleb Martin and KJ Martin out in this one. Nuggets pretty much extremely healthy. line makes sense where it is, why it is where it is. The Nuggets are head and shoulders the better basketball team based on the talent that will be on the floor tonight. I'm not in a rush to lay 9.5 points with the Nuggets on the road, though. This team has lost 3 straight games on the road: Minnesota, Chicago, New York. This is probably the bounce back game for them from an outright win perspective, but I don't want to be laying this many points with Denver on the road. We trust Denver much more at home. On the road, laying this many points, we're kind of asking for it. I know Philadelphia, one of the worst ATS teams this entire season. We've been fading them blindly for majority of the season, but teams won 4 straight. I think they come in here and compete, especially ESPN game Friday night at home, Philadelphia, trying to still compete to keep the team in the mix to get back into things when everybody gets healthy and make a run in the postseason. I don't know. I think they can keep some momentum rolling forward here. I want to grab the points with Philadelphia at home Friday night, playing well, some of their best basketball of the season. Laying this many points on the road with Denver, you're usually asking for it. We keep it rolling. We have the Toronto Raptors at home at the crib, laying 3.5 points on your Chicago Bulls. Man, the books have finally caught on to us and the Toronto Raptors. We have been cashing like nobody's business with the Toronto Raptors at home this season, where they have the entire country behind them. We've been catching them as underdogs a lot of the time, but we're laying points with them today. And even then, that's not enough for me to switch up and change up on our money-making home Toronto Raptors. I'm on them, boys. I'm laying the points in this one. These are just two teams going in opposite directions. The Raptors have figured it out. They're kind of heating up, playing their best basketball of the season. Chicago, banged up, not playing well right now. Losers of 3 of their last 4. Don't like the spot for them. This is also a bounce back, this is also a revenge game at home at the crib for the Raptors, as the Bulls beat them in Toronto 122-121 back last month in December around the 16th. So small lean here on the Raptors laying points. We've been on them as a dog, but at home here laying points, usually we wouldn't do it, but with how well they're playing right now, we got to keep it rolling with the Toronto Raptors. So shout out Toronto. We keep it rolling. We got the New Orleans Pelicans, 11.5-point home dogs with the Boston Celtics rolling in, the defending champs. Boston coming off the win over the Chicago Bulls. They aired them out in that game, 122-100. Y'all know what we got to do. We have to fade the Boston Celtics in this spot, in this situation. Boston, following a win this season, they have been terrible from an ATS standpoint. The Celtics, I think they're 6. Let me pull it up. They're 6. Sorry. It'll come up in a second. There's 6, whatever it is. It'll pull up in a second. But it's also a bounce back game at home that also happens to be a revenge game for the New Orleans Pelicans. And following a win this season, the Boston Celtics are... My computer moving slow, bro. 6-25-1. Damn, that's what it is. That took long enough, didn't it? But 6-25-1 are the Celtics from an ATS standpoint this season. Following a win, they've only covered in 19% of their games. So we're basically covering at an 81% clip, just blindly fading the Celtics when they come off a win. Give me the Pelicans in the bounce back game at home that also happens to be a revenge game, fading the Celtics off a win. We have the San Antonio Spurs, 2.5-point home dogs with the Milwaukee Bucks rolling in. Milwaukee did beat the Spurs earlier this month in Milwaukee, 121-105. San Antonio has lost 4 of their last 5, including back-to-back games in Paris. They got blitzed by the Pacers, 136-198 in the quick revenge spot for Indiana. Then they came home and the Clippers came in there and beat them up 128-116. Bounce back game at home that also happens to be a revenge game is the spot, is the situation. We'll lean towards the San Antonio Spurs plus the points and or outright money line. Keep an eye on the injury report for Milwaukee. Damian Lillard's on there. Chris Middleton also on there. We just saw Milwaukee lose outright to Portland in their last one. Milwaukee's a weird team. They lose in certain games you don't necessarily see them losing in quite often. And I kind of got that eerie feeling tonight. I think this is a Wemby-style game going up against Giannis and company. I want to attack the plus money with the San Antonio Spurs here in this one. Last game of the night, man, we got the Golden State Warriors, 1.5-point home dogs against the Phoenix Suns. I'm on the Warriors. Don't want to overcomplicate it. It's their 5th straight home game. They're comfortable at home. Been shooting in the same rim, same gym for over a week. They've won 3 of their last 4. Warriors are one of those hot and cold teams. When they're cold, just keep fading them until they heat back up. But when they're hot, just keep riding with them until they cool down. And right now, that's just my thought process on this game. Kuminga, Draymond, both still out. But I think Curry has a solid game at home tonight. Phoenix, they have been playing okay recently, but don't like the spot for them here on the road. Favored. They're still terrible from an ATS standpoint this season. The number 1 worst team in the league from a money-making perspective. I'm going to take the Warriors at night, 9 o'clock, at home, to keep some of that momentum they have rolling. But I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. Money Making Friday, man, looking to get back on the right track. It hasn't been the best week overall for me. Well, overall, we've been, I think, we're down a game for the week. So, we haven't lost money this week. It's just the top play has been terrible. We've lost 4 straight on that, so that's frustrating. Looking to bounce back on the top play tonight and looking to dominate the board from an overall perspective. So, Money Making Friday, man. Let's do what we do. Let's kick the crap out of the books, man. Let's make tonight a good one. Let's keep the momentum rolling into the weekend. And I'll see y'all then, man. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. I'm out of here. Peace.